All right, hello everyone, and let's put our hands together. And we have Dr. Pawan Goel. He is none other than rank 1 May AIIMS postgraduate entrance exams. Hello Pawan, heartiest congratulations.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
जोर से बोलना पड़ेगा.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
He's a little shy guy, but he's a very hardworking boy. So how do you feel, Pawan?
I'm feeling very proud, ma'am.
He's feeling very proud and happy.
Happy and grateful to all my friends, my seniors and dams. I can't express in words how I am feeling right now.
That's so sweet of him. और पवन बहुत मेहनत करी थी है ना, and he's been with us right from the foundation courses. So he did a foundation course and then followed up with test and discussion. So बहुत मेहनत करी है. So पवन कैसा रहा the journey with dams?
मैम बहुत अच्छी रही. थर्ड ईयर में स्टार्ट करने से मुझे लग रहा है कि काफ़ी पॉजिटिव इम्पैक्ट रहा है रिजल्ट पे. और इंटर्नशिप के दौरान जब टेस्ट एंड डिस्कशन किया तो उससे रीसेंट अपडेट्स भी पता लग गए. तो इट वाज वेरी हेल्पफुल फॉर इन माय प्रिपरेशंस.
ओके एंड क्या डैम्स के नोट्स के बाहर डू यू हैव टू फेच अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स इधर उधर कुछ और पढ़ने की ज़रूरत पड़ी?
आई वाज़न्ट एबल टू डू दैट मैम. आई हैड अ पॉजिटिव ऑफ टाइम. सिर्फ नोट्स कर पाया मैं. Twice I did it before the exam.
But then it means you've done them very thoroughly, right?
I tried my best.
He tried his best. He's being very honest. He said he had positive times. It's so because his internship was difficult. It was a MAMC में internship बहुत tough है. So whatever time he had, he spent it reading the notes. है ना. अच्छा, और टेस्ट एंड डिस्कशन में फिर जब तैयारी करते थे पवन तो कैसे करते थे और क्या पेपर हेल्पफुल था जब यहाँ पे मिलता था?
मैम जो शेड्यूल मिलता था टेस्ट एंड डिस्कशन का उससे हमारा सिलेबस बिफोर टाइम खत्म हो जाता था पेपर से. तो फर्स्ट रिवीजन अलोंग विद क्वेश्चंस फ्रॉम द टेस्ट इट हेल्प्ड अ लॉट इन क्लियरिंग मोस्ट ऑफ द कंट्रोवर्शियल क्वेश्चंस एंड द डाउट्स वी हैड फ्रॉम आवर फर्स्ट रीड एंड द न्यू अपडेट्स एंड एनी कंट्रोवर्शियल क्वेश्चंस the faculty wants to tell visuals that would be discussed in the test. It was very helpful in my study plan.
और टेस्ट पैटर्न क्या आपको सिमिलर लगा जैसे आपने अभी बहुत सारे एग्जाम्स दिए हैं है ना? सो क्या टेस्ट पैटर्न आपको सिमिलर लगा जो आप यहाँ देते थे और जो दूसरे एग्जाम्स में आपने दिया है?
यस मैम डेफिनेटली. अब डैम्स के टेस्ट विजुअल्स को फोकस में रख के और कॉन्सेप्चुअल क्वेश्चंस पे होते हैं तो वैसे क्वेश्चन पूछे जा रहे हैं आजकल एग्जाम्स में. तो इट वाज वेरी हेल्पफुल इन द एंड. एंड अगर हम वो पेपर मतलब अपने एग्जाम से पहले रिवाइज कर लें तो सब्जेक्ट ब्रश अप हो जाता है उससे.
बिल्कुल. तो भाई मैं आपसे पूछने भी वाली थी कि जस्ट बिफोर द एग्जाम आप क्या रिवाइज करते थे? बिकॉज वही बच्चे जानना चाहते हैं है ना कि एग्जाम से पहले हम कैसे पढ़ें, राइट?
15 days before I start a fresh read of my syllabus and try and cover maximum of the syllabus I can cover.
और वो आप नोट से पढ़ते थे?
Yes, maximum.
Okay.
If any subject felt I left out, I would try to rush it through the test and discussion. Okay. As most of the important topics were discussed in the test and discussion.
Okay. और क्वेश्चन कहाँ से प्रैक्टिस करते थे पवन?
I only did 2 to 3 years previous year questions from the AIIMS papers.
Okay, that's it.
Yes,
so mainly you relied upon your theory content, है ना?
Yes,
and वही अगर concepts आपके बहुत clear हो, वही we were अभी पहले भी हम ये बात कर रहे थे, अगर concepts clear हो, so no matter how we frame the MCQs, they'll be able to give the answer, है ना? तो आपको क्या लगता है कि क्या हमें किसी पैटर्न की तैयारी करनी चाहिए या हमें अपने सब्जेक्ट मटेरियल की अच्छी तैयारी करनी चाहिए?
सब्जेक्ट मटेरियल की करनी चाहिए. आप क्वेश्चन सब प्रिडिक्ट नहीं कर सकते हैं.
That's right.
आप अपनी प्रिपरेशन बस कर सकते हैं. ओनली थिंग्स व्हिच यू कैन कंट्रोल यू शुड ट्राई.
Exactly.
You can't control the examiner.
Yes, and at DAMS were we able to highlight the important topics for you people?
Definitely.
Important subtopics, important subjects. क्या चीज़ एग्जाम से पहले आपको ज़्यादा हैमर करना चाहिए?
Definitely, ma'am. Mock tests and grand tests, they helped a lot in telling us about our weaknesses and the main repeat topics which are being asked frequently. And the visuals, they were very helpful.
That's great. So आपने हमारा visual session attend किया था पवन?
Yes ma'am, I attended the DVT last year.
Okay.
I wasn't able to do the discussion.
And was it useful?
Yes ma'am, it was very useful. Sutures, anatomy, surgery, everything is very useful.
Okay, that's great to hear. और पवन आप mock test देते थे मतलब ये जितने भी हम रखते हैं mock exam से पहले या grand test जैसे होते हैं? तो आपने अभी बोला कि you did give the grand test.
Yes ma'am, I tried to do all of them.
All of them.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. और क्योंकि हमारे साथ there are a lot of other students who are doing a T&D with us and a lot of times उनको अपनी strategy बनाने में मुश्किल होता है. So क्या आप उनको थोड़ा सा बता सकते हो कि 1 week before the test, how should they go about doing for that subject?
I tried to do that subjects before the exam which had the maximum weightage for that paper.
Okay. So it was not like कि medicine बहुत बड़ा है या surgery बहुत बड़ा है. It was more according to कि
The weightage of the
exactly.
like if in PGI biochem is important,
Yes.
obstetrics and gynae is important, then I tried to do it just before the exam.
Okay.
And the weak topics of my medicine and surgery, I tried to revise it before the PGI.
So can you understand that when he says revision, he is more focusing on his weaknesses and trying to do them over and over again, है ना?
Yes.
ताकि क्योंकि सब कुछ बार बार पढ़ना शायद मुश्किल हो. So
Yes,
it's very
ma'am.
important कि आपका lacuna कहाँ है and where you need more revisions or maybe more volatile things for you and then
To
you do
assess
them.
that one need to give a grand test or mock test
बिल्कुल.
so that you come to know about your
Where you
weaknesses.
stand
Yes,
exactly.
that's important.
That's great. And जब आपने हमारे साथ foundation course किया था और classes attend करी थी, were we is it good to clear the conceptual part as well and did it help you in your professional exams?
Yes, ma'am. It definitely helped in our professional exams. Your obs and gynae notes, medicine surgery notes, they were monumental in passing our final prof.
We are humbled. Thank you so much.
And majorly all the concepts were discussed in the class, and even if they missed out, the sir and ma'am, you always used to tell us what is slightly missing and you need to do for your profs.
Yes.
Ma'am, that was helpful.
Okay.
Definitely helpful.
That's wonderful. And पवन बहुत सारे बच्चे ये भी जानना चाहते हैं कि अगर हमने हैरिसन नहीं पढ़ा है या हमने बेली और लव पूरा नहीं पढ़ा है तो क्या हम फिर भी एग्जाम क्रैक कर सकते हैं? I'm sure they would want to ask you this and they would ask you in your inbox as well. So let's
हम बुक तो कवर टू कवर तो रीड करना बहुत मुश्किल है.
Exactly.
कोई भी बुक फाइनल ईयर में अब इतने सारे सब्जेक्ट्स होते हैं, आप नहीं कर सकते हैं.
हाँ, और रिवीजन और भी मुश्किल है.
Yes, definitely. But I would recommend they should try doing Love and Billy at least.
So selectively maybe.
Selectively both the books, minimum topics which they can comfortably
But
handle and
you suggest
revise.
doing them
at
in
least
your
revise.
professional year rather than when it is close
Not
to the
during
exam.
the exams. Only during the exams do just use these books as your reference.
Right.
Which the difficulties you are finding any answers on
So
the
he's
net.
very right. You should always do good books in your undergraduation. That always makes a lot of importance. It builds your basics. And as he said, क्योंकि वही चीज़ आप बाद में एग्जाम से पहले नहीं पढ़ सकते, तो आप उनको रेफर कर सकते हैं as and when
Yes.
required, है ना?
Third professional is a very nice time to do read of these books if you can't do in the final year.
Yes. Okay.
Children मतलब we can try and read Love and Billy and some selected topic of Harrison
Okay.
during the third
And
prof.
we have that Harrison notebook as well at DAMS where we especially highlight what topics you can go back and read from the Harrison's book. If you want to read it in more details and depths, then you can always refer back
Yes.
reading the Harrison book. Okay. And another thing जो मेरे दिमाग में आ रहा था and I think the students would want to ask is how important is solving MCQs?
It is important, but it is not the foremost thing in your preparation. You should first build a base and then
That's
practice
right.
upon the questions. Doing a retrograde study is not useful.
Very good. So that's what is the precise words.
Yes.
That's what students know कि मैम हम anti-grade पढ़े या हम retrograde पढ़े, हम selective पढ़े या
Retrograde is not helpful in today's pattern of
repeat
exams.
ही नहीं आ रहे हैं.
You cannot recall 2 sessions per day of NEET.
Exactly.
You cannot recall the visuals from AIIMS. You cannot recall all the 5 options from PGI.
That's true.
So just do the topics.
Very correct. Especially the high yielding topics,
Yes.
we need to identify them and then read them in depth rather than giving your main focus on questions. As he said, पहले भी उसने बोला है questions ज़रूरी हैं because they tell you where you stand and where you are weak, but that take a back seat and your concepts and your
Yes.
theoretical part takes the front seat. I think that's a wise piece of advice for your juniors as well. Or you're part of the DAMS exclusive club as well.
Yes, ma'am.
So-
in the last week. I tested.
So are you is it helpful for you? Did you
Ma'am, I was able
clear
to
some
find
doubts?
out the AIIMS recall questions.
Yeah.
I was not part of it earlier.
Okay, that's great. So whatever lately he's been
Yes.
using and he could get some questions from that
The
part as well.
faculty keep on updating the forum about new findings and about the important topics, and
Right.
because it's very useful, I
राइट
guess.
राइट राइट सो अगर आपको जिस्ट में बोलूँ कि कोई बच्चा है, आप दो तरीके से एडवाइस दो, क्योंकि वो आपसे ही जानना चाहते हैं ना, नो मैटर फैकल्टी कितना भी बोले, वंस दे टॉक टू द टॉपर्स, आप मुझे दो चीज़ें बताओ. एक वो बच्चे जो जल्दी शुरू करते हैं लाइक फाउंडेशन, वो क्या करें, और फिर एक बात बताओ जो अपनी इंटर्नशिप में शुरू कर रहे हैं वो क्या चीज़ में कॉन्सेंट्रेट करें. Maybe they would definitely want to hear from rank 1 May AIIMS postgraduate entrance exams.
For the students who are starting in the pre-foundation or the early years, you can focus upon your textbooks first and then add upon the important things from that onto your notes, so that in the end you have a concise notes and summary of whatever the questions you think that are possible can be asked.
Right.
And the most important thing is that you have to revise your syllabus at least twice or thrice before the exam, so that you are confident.
Right.
And for the people who are starting their preparation in internship, they should first do all the notes, try to complete your syllabus at least 1 or 2 months before the exam.
Right.
And do a repeat of their syllabus as many times as possible.
अच्छा, अभी मिड ईयर का एक और एग्जाम, ऑल्दो पीजीआई तो हो गया, मिड ईयर का डीएनबी आने वाला है, एंड एज आई सेड वी आर नॉट प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर एनी पैटर्न. सो आप मुझे बताओ, अगेन समथिंग दैट द स्टूडेंट्स वांट टू आस्क, कि एक महीना पहले, जैसे अभी एक महीने का टाइम है, सो एक महीना पहले व्हाट थिंग्स शुड पीपल फोकस ऑन व्हेन दे आर गोइंग फॉर द एग्जाम. आपने किस चीज पे फोकस किया एम्स से पहले, पीजीआई से पहले, एंड सिमिलरली फॉर ऑल नीट एज वेल?
Before the AIIMS and PGI exams, I started practicing the questions, so that I could find out the important topics which are being repeatedly asked.
Okay.
And I tried to do them again and again from my notes.
And do those topics repeatedly from your notes.
And tried refer to textbooks if required.
And did you do the test papers as well that we gave to you?
Yes, ma'am. I tried my level best. I could not do all of them.
Yes,
but I tried.
But you tried to do the questions, because that's how we highlight the important and the high yielding things. So primarily, again, that's what he's saying. Even before the exam, he's saying it's the high yielding subtopics that one should focus on and revise them intensely from the notes. Try and identify them from the question bank, and then do them intensely from your notes, because the pattern has changed. There are no repeats, so we have to be very, very theory intensive. That's absolutely great, Pawan. और आपका कुछ अपनी तरफ से कुछ piece of advice for your juniors?
Keep faith in yourself.
So a small but a concise thing. Yes, you have to have faith in yourself. You can do it if you think you can do it, है ना?
Yes.
और किसी के सोचने से फर्क नहीं पड़ता, जितना हम if we think that we can do it, we are able to achieve it. So heartiest congratulations once again to rank 1 Dr. Pawan Goel May AIIMS postgraduate entrance exams. And कोई ऐसी faculty जो आपको डांस में बहुत अच्छी लगी हो?
दीप्ति मैम.
That is so sweet. इसलिए बोल रहा है मेरे साथ बैठा है. Okay, so fine. Deepti ma'am is included. Anybody else that you want to say?
Ma'am, everybody is good.
Everybody is
you
good.
Can't point out.
He doesn't want to point out. He says everybody is very good. So that's really great. And his last words to his juniors are: keep faith in yourself. Be consistent, right?
Yes.
And your hard work will definitely pay off. All right. So once again, thank you very much for being here. God bless you, and may God give you a very bright future ahead. Right?
Thank you,
Pawan.